Alright YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and in today's video we are going to be talking about all the mistakes you do not want to make going into 2026 Nikke. Now this is going to basically be more focused on the characters because we kind of have an idea of what characters are coming out and stuff like that, and I feel like especially after like doing account wars this year, a lot of people have just been making so many mistakes summon wise, so it's more of like a do not make these mistakes going into 2026 video slash summon guide for 2026, right? Because there are some characters that are possibly going to be, or there are some that's guaranteed going to be rerunning in 2026, and then some that we could assume are going to be rerunning in 2026. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, find it helpful or anything like that, subscribe and like and all that stuff. Now remember, some of these are kind of confirmed without, like, they're all but confirmed, and then some of these will be speculations. I'll let you guys know which one is more speculations and which one is more confirmed. Let's get into it. So the first things first is that I think going into 2026, if you honestly, like, if your account isn't like this, basically I'm talking to the people who don't have all the characters and they're like, okay, well, Zxous, what should I be saving and something for? I think going into 2026, your priorities should be nothing but pilgrim characters. And I know it sounds crazy for me to say that, right? But the pilgrim slash overspec characters, I think that's what your priority should be. I feel like, especially if you are in a point where you have these meta characters, like, and I'm not talking about like 1 or 2, I'm talking about like you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, you have 6, 7, 8 teams, right? If you have these many, like this many teams, I don't feel like you need to summon for every single character that releases, right? Regardless, even if they're limited or not limited, like even Brid and Diesel, right? These guys are limited, and I remember like a year or two ago, I'd be like, okay, well, limited characters, you guys want to get them because they would just don't come back, or you're not gonna be able to get them again for a year, right? But I feel like honestly this year, if you were to skip out on Diesel and you guys were to skip out on Brid, I don't think anybody would be missing out on anything. Because guess what? I know a lot of people are kind of glazing this Brid and a lot of people are glazing this Diesel right now, but the moment their banners go away, nobody's gonna use them like that, right? You are probably gonna use them for solo raid if you need to. You're probably gonna use it for union raid if you need to, like if they, you know, their type advantage or whatever. Other than that, you're probably not gonna look their way. And I feel like that is a common mistake that was just made this year, where a lot of people are summoning for characters because like the one niche they have, and then they just summon, complain that they have no gems, complain they have no tickets because they're pitying the wrong characters, and then they're like just summoning for characters they never use, right? The reason why I summon for every character, if you're wondering, well, Zxous, why do you summon for every character? It's because I'm a content creator and I do showcases for the characters, right? I mean, that's how I see it, at least. I summon for the purpose of, 1, having them for future content, and 2, because I'm a content creator and I would like to have all the characters to do content when the brand new character comes out, or in the future when they become more relevant, right? Like, because imagine I did something for Rouge when Cinderella came out, for example. That's a great example, right? Rouge was a character a lot of people ended up skipping, but then when Cinderella came out, Rouge was our best partner, like by a big amount. And I think that's another reason, like especially the Rouge incident, that's why so many people do summon for every single character that comes up, because they're afraid that the character that they skip out on will become so much more relevant later on. I feel like when Rouge came out, she was a very good character because of her cooldown reduction, but that was mainly it, right? But then when Cinderella came, and Cinderella ended up just being the strongest DPS in the game that scaled off max HP, Rouge was the character that already increased max HP by like 60, 70, 80%. Right? So when they didn't have Rouge, so much people were so upset they did not get Rouge. And I think generally that is why people are summoning for every single character. Going in 2026, you don't need to. You definitely don't need to summon for every single character. I think in 2026, the characters that are confirmed to drop that you should be summoning for are Rappy, right? Because she is the best character in the game. She is coming back January 1st, right? She is coming back January 1st. So January 1st, if you want to try to get this character, by all means, I think this is a character that you should have going into 2026. Another character that is guaranteed rerunning next year is going to be this Dorothy right here, the summer one. Now I don't think she's a must-have. I mean, I think she's a must-have for water characters, like if you need a water DPS, because I think it's the best water DPS in the game, right? Other than that, I don't think she's a must-have in the sense of like oh, if you don't have her, I mean, then she's kind of a must-have. I'm not even gonna front. She is kind of a must-have, right? But she is guaranteed going to be rerunning in the summertime as well. I think if you don't have her, save your currency for someone like her as well. Another thing is, I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but next anniversary, not the 3.5 but the 4th anniversary, we should be getting the rerun of Black Shadow's Scarlet Black Shadow, Cinderella, and Crown. That's what I'm assuming, only because this year we got Red Hood, which was the 1st anniversary, right? Modernia, which was the New Year's, and then Dorothy, which was the 0.5 anniversary. So I'm assuming it's going to be Cinderella because she's the 2nd year anniversary, Scarlet Black Shadow because she was the New Year's character after Modernia, and then Crown because she was the 1.5 anniversary, right? That's what I'm assuming is going to happen for the 4th anniversary, right? I'm not going to sit there and say save for that because that's more speculation. I cannot confirm something that happened only one time. I'm not going to sit there and confirm reruns for old banners or old anniversaries are always going to happen now because they did this one anniversary, right? So for those 3 characters, I'm not going to sit there and say save for their rerun. It will happen eventually. 110%. Crown, Cinderella, and Scarlet Black Shadow will all get a rerun banner sometime in the future, but I don't know if I could confirm and say it's going to happen in 2026. But for Rappy, Red Hood, and also for the Summer Dorothy, you should. I also believe you should be summoning or saving your currency for any new pilgrim that comes out in 2026. So I know Anise is getting a new one, right? The summer, not Summer Anise, but like Anise, the character, is getting an overspec character, hopefully New Year's, right? The little super idol, star idol, whatever you want to call her. That Anise is going to be getting one. Save your currency for that. I don't know what other pilgrims are going to be coming out in 2026, but those are the banners you want to save for. When it comes to collabs, I feel like collabs are characters that like they are useful and not useful, because obviously 2025 has been quite an interesting year. Every single collab character that came out in 2025 was very good, right? Jill, very good. Ada Wong, very good. Eve, very good. Raven, very good. Everybody from Evangelion, very good, right? The only one that wasn't really good was the 2B and A2 rerun, because like they didn't get a buff or anything like that. But all the brand new like collabs that happened this year, and honestly even last year, they've all been very good or have had a niche that is just so good that you just kind of don't want to miss out on. I do think going into 2026, your priorities should be the overspecs and pilgrims, right? And I will let you guys know if said base characters are going to be like a must-have or not. But even this year, I wouldn't say anybody from this year that dropped that was a regular character was a must-have besides like Helm's favorite item, right? Helm's favorite item, and then honestly, I don't even know, that might be it. That might be it. Because I can't sit there and say Tactical Trio was a must-have. Like I don't have Tactical Trio, and I've been doing just fine. Same thing with Mast and Anchor, right? I feel like they're very, 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 very good. And then later on in Tower, they become more of a must-have, sure, because Elysion didn't have really much when they came out, or before they came out. But I don't feel like any of these characters are must-have besides the Pilgrims. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I feel like only Pilgrims and overspec characters are the must-have characters. And I guess to an extent, the collab characters, because for example, both Asukas, right? Mainly this Asuka right here. These guys are, and even Raven, right? Some of these characters are staples for some of the content in the game, right? And especially when I mean, now like with Wind, we have Liberalia and Nayuta, so this Asuka is not necessarily needed anymore, right? For Iron, we have Rappy, right? So this Raven isn't necessarily needed anymore, but she's still very, very good. I feel like when these characters first came out, even though Raven came out after Rappy, they are very, very good and stuff like that. But they will fall off eventually. But I mean, I don't want to, everybody's going to fall off eventually, if that makes sense, right? So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, skip out on collab characters because like eventually they're going to fall off. That's every single character in the game, right? Red Hood was a must-have and she's falling off. I want you guys to know this character will probably no longer be a top 10 character in the game come New Year's, right? Because right now I have her at like 9 or 10 on my overall tier list. Right, I have her at 9 or 10, and a lot of people have her not even in the top 10 anymore. If she was 9 or 10, or let's say she is 10, if a niece comes out and the niece is broken, this character is no longer going to be that crazy. And then guaranteed by the 3.5 anniversary, especially if we're getting 2 pilgrims, Red Hood in At the 3.5 anniversary, Red Hood is not going to be a top 10 character anymore. Think about that, y'all. She has a phenomenal run, but she's not going to be a top 10 anymore. And I know you guys keep saying, oh, it's just a shot at Red Hood. It's just the truth, bro. But yeah, going into 2026, the biggest mistake is save your gems for the Pilgrim characters. Trust me, you're just better off getting them. There's no point for summoning for all these regular characters when you know you're not using them, right? At the end of the day, the main team that is being used is the full Pilgrim team with Helm on it, right? Which is just Monsters Trio and then your 2 strongest DPSs, right? If you want to change up your team and summon for the brand new characters because you like them or something, that's a different story. But if you're looking at it like from a wise perspective, your best bet in 2026 is to save all your gems until Pilgrim banners come out, right? I've done how many accounts? I've done a viewer account 2 times, I think, since Solene came out, and I pulled Solene twice already. She just came out and I pulled Solene twice for a viewer right after her banner came out. I don't think people realize how easy it is to get a lot of these characters. It is hard at the same time, but at the same time, it is easy to get a boatload of these characters after they've come out, right? And Solene is a character that, yeah, I think Solene's a great character, but you're not going to see me using Solene for a long time because, again, when it came down to Harvester and the Shotgun team and all that stuff, I already had a team that could get the job done. I already have teams that could get the job done, and that's low-key the same thing for solo raid. A lot of people don't even care for challenge mode of solo raid, especially the casual players, because challenge mode for solo raid is more of a will-based thing. The number 1 player gets 2 multis. Let that sink into your head, right? The number 1 player, the person who spent the most amount of money to hit the highest number, only gets 2 multis, and everybody under that gets less than 2 multis. So for my casual players, they're probably going to get like what, maybe 300, 400, if they're lucky, probably over 500 gems, but definitely under 1,000 if they're lucky, right? I think like people just don't like think about a lot of these things, right? And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but if I'm right, then I'm right. It's either or. I'm just going off of what I've like seen my comments basically say, right? I think if you already have your teams built in 2025, right, just to kind of end this off, 2025, if you already have all your teams built, go into 2026 preparing for the meta characters. Not any characters, the godlike broken characters, which is as clear as day just going to be the Pilgrim characters, right? That's it. Like, we're gonna stop with this whole limited thing, like, oh, we need them because they're limited. Let's stop with that going into 2026 because that doesn't matter no more, right? Eleg is a great character and I use her when I'm fighting the water team, but I don't need her. Brit and Diesel are great characters, but I'm never going to use them realistically. Guillotine was a decent character. I'm never using her. I mean, I personally will, but like the majority is not. Even Maiden for the electric team. She's a great character, but she's the character I did not need her. Because I already have the meta support. Monsters Trio gets me through all the game, all the content in the game. Monsters Trio gets me through literally all the content in the game. And then if I don't want to use Monsters Trio, I have a lot of different alternatives, from Nayuta to freaking Mast and Anchor to freaking whatever, Trina and Scarlet for all I care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have a lot of different options that I already have built, and there's no way that, I mean, I'm not talking for myself because I'm a YouTuber, but I just think for you guys, that's your best course of action. So don't make that mistake going into 2026. Save for Pilgrims, and trust me, you will find that it's just better for you to save for Pilgrims. I don't think there's anything else that I do need to warn you guys about, because Nikke is going to probably be the exact same, besides like new content and stuff like that. There's no real other mistakes you could make that I have not said like over my years on YouTube, right? But that's really it. I'm just more worried about my players and their my community and their summons, right? Yeah, it's your boy Zxous. Let me know what you guys think. I know I've yapped or rambled a bit, but yeah, it's your boy Zxous. Hopefully it's helpful. If not, then it is what it is. If it was, then great. Subscribe and like. Your boy Zxous. I love you guys. I'm not gonna keep saying it's your boy Zxous, but it is your boy Zxous. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace. Bye.